Today is June 1st, Sunday. I am in Sierra Vista and Tucson. Well, the Tucson airport, but in the town of Sierra Vista. That's where I am in Arizona. I on my way here, I came through the San Diego airport. And today when I was in San Diego airport heading to Sierra Vista in Arizona, I had this word drop in my spirit. What I had dropped in my spirit is that California needs to be ready because I keep seeing over and over, like, yes, we've had earthquakes every day, but there is coming one earthquake that's going to be damaging. I don't know how high, how big it's going to be. I don't know how much damaging it's going to be, but it's going to be bigger than what we've been experiencing lately. So I would urge Californians, San Diegans to just be ready. Be ready because I hear it and I see it. I just don't know when it's coming. We must always be ready. Always have candles around. You just never know. So that's what I receive in my spirit, that an earthquake was coming to California, to San Diego area, or I don't know if it's gonna happen north or south, but in San Diego where I was in the airport, it says in my spirit I receive there's an earthquake that is coming and we need to be ready for it. I hope I'm making sense to everybody. So okay, so remember it's June 1st. Like I said, today's the first day of me being in Arizona, in Sierra Vista, Arizona. So today's my first day. So that was the first experience I had since the day began, as far as like a word of knowledge hitting in my spirit. Now, while I was in the plane and we got to Tucson, Arizona, because that's the airport I landed from San Diego to. So while I was in the plane, the whole time there were turbulence, so much turbulence that even the flight attendants, they stay seated the whole flight. And they said that, if you didn't have an emergency, don't get out of your seat, don't unbuckle your seatbelt. It's unsafe right now because the plane was going up and down, so much turbulence. I was nervous. I prayed the whole ride. I just prayed to make sure we're gonna land. So I prayed, but it was probably the wildest experience I've ever had since I've been flying to different places. Okay, so when we got on top of Sierra, when we got on top of Tucson, Arizona, and they getting ready to land. Now the landing wasn't easy. It was kind of like a drop. Like, I don't know, maybe they were so scared and just wanted to be on the ground already. So the whole experience was tough. But while I was in the air before we even landed, what I saw was above Tucson, Arizona, what I saw right before we landed, because I kind of went over and I got to go back because I'm remembering everything that happened today. So before we even landed, while we were like hovering, I saw a vision of like a whirlwind, but the whirlwind was made out of light. It's like a tunnel that's going like this. It's like this, but it's like white. It's like a tornado or something, but it's not picking up dirt. It was just pure white, like pure white, whiter than the sheets in the bed, whiter than my shirt. It was so pure, but it was twirling and twirling and twirling and twirling. And then I was like, wow. So to me, it's just telling me that I was hovering over a portal over Tucson. I hit a portal, when I hit the portal, I was able to see it in the supernatural. Again, it looks like a tunnel that's like it's twirling like a tornado, but it's a tunnel. It's twirling, 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 twirling like that, but it's pure white. So I know that I was going through a tunnel of some spiritual openness that is in Tucson when we were getting ready to descend. Then few minutes after that, I saw a rocket. A rocket, it looks like, when they're doing, when they're doing like, it's like space where people are about to go to the moon or something, how they have that big rocket. It was like I saw a big rocket, and it had a platform. The bottom of the platform were fire underneath it. So the rocket, it kind of like, it's shaped straight like this, and then there's like a bottom, and then the fire starts and it shoots the rocket. So that's what I saw. I saw it. I can't think of the name right now, but I saw the rocket on its station, and then I saw the fire underneath it, and it was getting ready to launch to go, out into space. I was like, wow, that's pretty crazy. So after I saw that, I was like, oh, I wonder what that is. I don't know, but I am in Arizona, and a lot of things are expected to happen here spiritually. So it's one of the places some of the prophets said that's gonna maybe get attacked, but I don't know. I didn't see attacks. I just saw rocket that was gonna hit from Tucson, Arizona, from Tucson, Arizona area, wherever in Arizona that is. There's gonna be. I saw rocket hitting from, going up, and then I find out Sierra Vista, where I'm staying, is a military ground. So I don't know. I guess when things come to pass, I have a better understanding why I saw the rocket. If you know what it means, if you have any idea, let me know. But the rocket was formed. It was formed. It was set up, and fire was underneath it to go to launch. So, and then I saw that, I was like, wow, okay, okay. So this is my experience. So now the plane landed, with all that turbulence, and then like a hard landing. I think they just wanted to just get it over and done with. So we're like hard landing. I was like, oh. And then we got out of the plane, and I'm just chilling, and I'm waiting for, there's a driver that picks me up to take me to my hotel. And now I'm in the hotel. I've never been here before. It is a military ground. And I came into the hotel. Now, they were going to put me in so I guess they assigned me a disabled room. I said, I'm not disabled. I'm not staying in the disabled room. The disabled room was, the room, it was number 104. When I walk into the room, I didn't feel comfortable. If I didn't feel comfortable, I would have been like, okay, I'm going to stay in this room. I walk into the room like, no, you should save it to somebody that is disabled, because I'm not disabled. I'm not going to put that on my spirit. So she said, okay, we have other rooms. For some reason, they won't let us change the room, but I'm going to change it for you anyway. She's like, well, there's another room. It's 147. I said, okay. Okay, so she took me, so she left the 104 room, which was a disabled room. I said, I'm not disabled, so I don't want to stay here. Plus, I don't like the energy that's here either. So she said, okay. Now she took me to the room 147. When I walk into the room for 147, I was like, okay, I could work with that. And it wasn't a disabled room. So I'm like, okay, I'm a big girl. I'm not disabled. And this kind of works. So I got in the room, and then next thing you know, her card key wasn't, her car, not car key, her, her key worked, but my key, my hotel room key wasn't working. It wouldn't work. We swiped, we cleaned, she did whatever she had to do to get this thing working. In the room 147, it would not work. So she said, well, we can't lock the room, so therefore you can't use this room. So now I'm getting out of this second room now, 147. And she said, well, there's 2 rooms left. You can have 146 or 148. So I'm thinking numbers. I'm thinking 148 because I love the number 4. Number 1, I can roll with it. Number 8, I love. It's new beginning. This is going to work for me. Okay, I'll take the 148. So she went and opened the door and ran out of the room. She's like, oh my God, somebody must have been smoking in there. I don't like the way the room smells. I'm like, smoke. If you see smoke, maybe it's the Holy Spirit. I don't know. Wherever smoke is, I'm going. I want to know, I want some action. So I walk into the room, and what I discerned was, okay, it's a little bit like, I discerned some stuff that I don't want to mention on here, because when you mention things like this in the supernatural, it become a door. So I experienced some stuff the moment I walk into the room, but I'm just so, after what happened in the air, I'm just like, okay, come with it. So I came into the room. She's like, okay, so the key works for 148. So I'm in the hotel room 148. So I'm chill, and next thing I know, I heard like a whirlwind, like a tunnel going on. It looks like I was caught up inside of a tornado or something. It was like voo 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 voo. I was like, it didn't have a good feeling to it. Like my discernment said, this is not a good wind. I know wind. I've been in the spiritual realm. This is not a good wind. And I'm like this, and I'm like, this is really weird. There's no window open. There's no opening. There shouldn't be a wind tunnel in here. And then the wind tunnel didn't feel good. It didn't. I knew in my spirit it wasn't a good one. So I was like, I called her the front desk. I'm like, hey, the room that you put me in, that I was able to get in, there's some stuff going on in here. There's a tunnel going in and wind going on in here. I don't want to stay here because I don't like that. It's disturb me. So she came, she's like, okay, let's try the other room that she suggested before, the 146. So we took the little key and swipe. Lord and behold, 146 worked. So that's the room number 146. So I get into the room, and when I get into the room, I said, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be. I just knew it in my spirit. So this is day one. I wanted to just make a journal about my experience on day one. So far, I am in the room of 146. 146. So I'm just going to rest, read my Bible, seek the Lord, and just rest in his presence because he's so good. He's so good. I'm having a good time. The atmosphere is nice. It's amazing. Oh, another thing I forgot to say was when I got to the hotel, on the way to Sierra Vista, it started to like drizzle. It was drizzling. And when I got here, it poured out rain. Like the rain just dropped. It reminded me when I got married. When I got married, there was such a pouring of rain that came down. And the rain was coming down so heavy. They said in 6 months, this is the first time they've seen the rain fall today. In 6 months, and today's the 6th month of the year, and it's been 6 months since they saw rain, and I'm in the room 146. So there's a lot of six going on. I know when you put all the six together, it's a bad number, but when you think about, but what I thought about, we are in the week of Pentecost. This is the week of Pentecost, so keep that in mind. On June 1st, a lot of things happen here. Remember the tunnel I told you I saw in the air, the white tunnel that was twirling and twirling and twirling. So I know that I was going through a portal or a tunnel or something supernatural, but it wasn't a dark supernatural. It was a godly supernatural. Remember I told you I saw that up there first when I was in the air. So June 6th, there was so many things that happened here. I know a lot of Catholics were here. I know I'm not Catholic, I understand that. But we all, they believe in God, and however they do their ministry, that's between them and them. That's between them and God. But there was a lot of activities because Catholics they have good discernment when they sense power. So around this time, and I'm also, remember in Arizona, I'm about maybe 20, I am about 15 to 20 minutes away from A.A. Allen place. So I'm not far from where he is. And then there was a revival that broke out. They also expecting a revival to break out again. And they're expecting a revival to happen in a way it's never happened before. And the whole thing started on June 1st. So on June 1st, because the Christians are not paying attention to times, other people look, because the time, even though it's God's time, but everybody have access to that time. If they use it, they could get something out of it. But if the Christian use it, then they're gonna get everything that God set out for them. They're gonna get an outpouring, but that energy is still there and it's still accessible for anybody to use it. So the Catholic take advantage of this time, of this date, specifically June 1st, the very first June, That's when they put up some sort of stuff up because they believe, the Virgin Mary visit them, and all that stuff. But the reason they did it is because they're paying attention to time. They knew around this time God was moving, God was doing things. They knew that the atmosphere of the heavens was open. It's not about the heaven, it's about who owns and created the heaven. Amen. So A.A. Allen came down here, and he got himself into this tunnel, this realm of supernatural. There's like a line, I don't know how to map it, but there's a line from Arizona to New Mexico or something, and it's a portal of supernatural, and the military is here. There's a lot of intelligent intelligent like stuff that they're doing. I don't know, like there's a lot of things that the military is using, but I don't want to go into what the military is doing. But the supernatural is accessible to everybody. So June 1st, there's a lot going on this week, but there's a lot going on June 1st. Something happened in 1977, and I think something happened a date after that. I'll look it up. But most of the Christians didn't tap into it. The only person that tapped into it was A.A. Allen.